Nowadays, wireless earphones are all the rage, especially with the headphone jack constantly disappearing from our lives. And since it's about time we all completely said goodbye to this not really antiquated piece of technology that still works perfectly, let's take another look at an entrance into the super populated and crowded field of Bluetooth audio devices. This is the Sony XB400. Is it any good? Well, keep watching to find out. As always, we start with the design. The earphones stick with Sony's current design ethos, which is the same as found on the 1000 XM3 series of wireless headphones. In my opinion, it looks really nice. It's minimalist, it's clean, it's simple. Anyway, it has a pretty simple layout in its design and really a standard wireless Bluetooth earphone kind of design. It has two earphones, obviously, and two ports that contain the internals of the device, the battery and the controls. On the left pod, you have the controls of the device, the charging port and a microphone for calls. The pods' only complaint here is that they're a bit bulky and they do feel a bit cheap. They're alright though for me, but for you, you might think differently, so be careful of that. The left port has the controls, all the controls here, and it's a very simple control layout. There are 3 buttons, a volume up and a volume down button, as well as a play pause button. Press and hold the play pause button to turn it on, to turn on the pairing mode, which is also super easy and super fast, really convenient. And pressing hold the volume up button will skip to the next song, while pressing and holding the volume down button will rewind the track. So really easy to understand, really easy stuff here. The charging port on this earphone in particular is a USB-C port, which I think is an awesome thing. I feel like everything should be USB-C. Anything new in 2020 should be USB-C, Apple. But there's still a lot of micro USB things out there, which I think is kind of sad, but whatever. So the controls are really easy, and also one can hang these earphones around the neck because they stick together magnetically and you can wear them around your neck like a necklace, just like with the Mi Audio X6 that I reviewed, which you can find on the link here. It's really nice. Build quality wise, it's really good as well. Soft touch plastics all around. There's a little bit of metallic looking plastic trim as well, and it feels really not bad, apart from the pods that are a bit flimsy and cheap at times. It's not amazing, but overall it's pretty alright, especially for its price. More on that later. However, even though it might feel like it can withstand anything, and it can take a decent beating, alright, don't get me wrong, it's not waterproof or dustproof, so be a little bit careful, and it might not be your best choice for a pair of wireless workout earphones with all the sweat and stuff going on, so watch out a little. Battery life wise, this device was really good for me. It lasted a good 7 to 8 hours of use, which lasted me about 2 days of moderate usage, listening music on the train, on the bus, reading or whatever. Pretty decent. And I suspect at a lower volume it might last even longer, so in my opinion this is plenty for 1 day use, 2 day use, until you have to charge it, so I'm quite happy with it. You might want something with a lot more battery life, but if you compare it to even the AirPods, it's not far off. It's competitive, it's good enough. So as with earphones, the most important thing in my opinion is how it sounds. Well, it's not amazing, but it puts in a good shift and good effort all around. The bass of these earphones are probably the standout. They're good, they're punchy, but in some songs, especially the songs that aren't mixed as well, it does get really boomy, and it might be annoying sometimes and a bit obnoxious, but I'm okay with it, although some people might not be okay with it, so it's personal preference on that thing. Mids are really decent. They are a tad weak, and the vocals on these earphones don't really stand out particularly. They are okay, not phenomenal. The highs are solid and stand out, though they're not sibilant or too strong or too loud, which I think is a nice thing. It's a good thing. It sounds alright, hi-hats and stuff on this sound great. They're not overbearing, but they're definitely there, and they make you know that they're there. Detail is acceptable as well on these earphones. They don't blow anything out of the water. They're not super expensive, so I don't expect them to, but they sound detailed enough, really. especially for what you're paying for. Volume is kind of limited, but should be sufficient because these earphones have really good isolation. The ear tips that they come with are great, and they come with a variety of ear tips. So if it doesn't fit you exactly, you can switch it out for a different sized ear tip, which is, I think, a nice touch. Comfort wise, these are really great as well. As I said before, you can change the tips on them, which make it really nice and comfy. It fits you perfectly. For me, I could wear them for hours on end without any real worry. I think some wireless earphones and some earphones in general fail to be comfortable enough for long-term usage, like the IM70s that I used to have because they were a bit bulky, but these are small, they're streamlined, and the ear tips are really good. So I found them super. And I think it's also really important to have a good sale on wireless earphones, because if your wireless earphone drop out and they drop onto the floor, you're gonna lose them forever, and that's not a good thing. So what is the price for these earphones? Well, it's for around $60 currently on Amazon. It's actually not too bad for what it is on its own. However, if you look at the really saturated market that's super competitive, and you look at the other alternatives on the field which delivered a close performance, if not even better, at a lower price, you know, like the Mi Audio M6, the Mi Audio X6 wireless earphones that I reviewed, check them out here, it doesn't seem as compelling of a purchase. Now the sound is an upgrade over the Mi Audios, don't get me wrong, but I don't think the premium and the fact that it's a Sony pair of earphones really justify the jump in cost. So are the extra little details and branding worth it to you? I don't think so. If it was, sure, go for the Sony, but I'll say go for other cheaper, better alternatives out there in the market. Unless these are on a really solid discount, then I think they will make a great deal at about $40 or $30. In conclusion then, you might want to wait for a good sale before you buy the Sony WI XB400, because bang for buck wise, it's not phenomenal, but on its own as a standalone product, it really is okay. So it depends on you and your budget. But there are good options out there that are alternatives to it for a lower price, so watch out for that. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please subscribe and comment, because I reply to every single comment. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at zreviews, okay? It helps the channel a lot, and it's a great way to thank me, I guess, if you found this video helpful. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like it if you liked it. I'll see you next time.